34 things for working people that Republicans are now going to saying that they want to cut. Again, we don't have anything formal yet, but what happened was the Jodey Arrington, the Republican from Texas, Congressman Arrington, he's on the House Budget Committee. I believe he's its chair. I might be wrong. But apparently via him, Politico just got their hands on this document about what the House Budget Committee is planning on cutting. You know, where the cuts are going to happen. How are they going to pay for the tax breaks for Elon Musk and for Mark Zuckerberg and for Donald Trump and for, you know, all the other billionaires. And here's the list. Number one, they want to repeal major Biden health rules. This is going to save $420 billion. They're going to do away with mandatory staff minimums in nursing homes. They're going to do away with prohibitions of discrimination in Affordable Care Act plans, telehealth and AI. They're going to do away with increased protections for people with disabilities. And they're going to do away with new network requirements for psychological services. So that they think is going to save them $400 billion. They want to, quote, strengthen Medicare for seniors. That's going to save them almost $500 billion. They're going to do this by doing away with what's called uncompensated care and bad debt. What this is Medicare reimburses hospitals that provide services to people who have no insurance and are broke, right? If you're poor and you show up at a hospital and they provide you with services, whatever you need, it is paid for by Medicare. And, through this fund. It's a large amount of money. And these are called disproportionate share hospitals. So cutting this is going to save hundreds of billions of dollars. It's going to mean hospitals are no longer serving people who don't have insurance. You're going to have a lot more people die. And a lot of rural and small hospitals are going to close, particularly hospitals in poor neighborhoods where a large percentage of the people showing up don't have the money to pay for services. They also say they want to make Medicaid work for the most vulnerable. This is $2.3 trillion. They're going to put into place per capita caps on Medicaid. That will cut Medicaid reimbursements by almost $1 trillion, $918 billion. In other words, basically, Medicaid is just not going to pay for things anymore. They're going to equalize Medicaid payments for able-bodied adults. This is $600 billion, $690. This is fancy language for saying if you can't get a job, you can't get Medicaid. And of course, once you get a job, you're no longer eligible for Medicaid. So it's a real catch-22. And that's the Medicaid work requirements. Reimagining the Affordable Care Act. There's $151 billion in cuts they want to make out of the Affordable Care Act. Are you noticing a trend here, by the way? All of these things that Republicans want to cut in order to pay for tax cuts for Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, all of these things are things so far that take care of average, people and poor people in America, particularly health-wise. They want to repeal the Prevention Public Health Fund, $15 billion. They want to, like I said, $151 billion in cuts to the Affordable Care Act. They want to, quote, end cradle-to-grave dependence. The first is reducing TANF by 10%. $6 billion, eliminating the TANF contingency fund. This is the program that basically it costs us about $6 billion. This is the program that replaced basically SNAP, food stamps. They want to eliminate the contingency fund, and they want to reform the so-called thrifty food plan. They say that's going to save $270 billion. This is basically cutting food stamps to hungry people. And they want to reverse the Biden climate policies. This is the first thing that they propose that doesn't mean less health care for people. They want to do away with the EV mandate, and they want to repeal the green energy grants. That's going to be $460 billion. And then they want to end the student loan bailout. That's $200 billion. And they want to cut $32 billion from federal employee benefits. And they want to do away with $200 billion in green energy tax credits and the child tax credit for people on Social Security.